Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of the Expert Empire Podcast. I'm your host, Monica Hammond, and in today's episode, I want to talk to you all about my growth loop system. So if you follow me on social media or you watch my YouTube, you may have heard me talk about my growth loop model that has completely changed the game for my business over the last few years. Now, I believe that this is the way that many group coaching programs are going to head in the next few years. So here's the tea. We are in a trust recession. I would actually call it a trust depression, right? There are so many gurus out there hawking their courses, hawking their programs, agencies, services, that it is absolutely impossible to know who to trust. If their offers are even real, if their systems work, if they are even real, right? AI has completely taken over our industry to the point where you don't even know if the person in front of the camera is real, right? So how are you going to trust someone? I don't know about you, but for me, since I'm in this space, I'm constantly, if I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'm getting ads from this person or that person selling me on the only one system that's working right now and everything else has stopped working, right? Probably sounds familiar to you as well if you're watching this video. So it is more important than ever. I would actually say it's essential that you can prove your authority and authenticity beyond just giving people case studies, right? Beyond just saying you have this result or that result, to really prove that you are an authority and you are willing to put your money where your mouth is, right? You can have a book, you can have a podcast, anyone can have a book or a podcast, right? So that is why most of the deals that I do these days incorporate this growth loop model. I'm going to explain why it's helping me close clients into group coaching, into equity partnerships, even into service deals at just a crazy, crazy rate. It's a business model that literally has people begging me to work with them. I turn people away, coaches, consultants, all the time if they are not my absolute 100% ideal client, then I just flat out won't work with them. And that for me means that I'm working with the people that I know I can help. So that feels good, right? I feel good and I can sleep at the end of the night knowing that I'm only taking money from and working with people that I'm truly helping, right? So I'm amplifying my impact and my income. So this model is also, it's very attractive to potential partners. I say partners, not clients. I'll get to that in a second. And it even has people selling me on them. It completely flips the script. So if you're going into a sales call, I'm not selling them anymore. They're there hoping that I'll basically invest in them and work with them. So this is allowing me to spend like next to nothing on ads. I think I spend around $600 right now a month in ads for my business, and I'm bringing home anywhere between $20,000 and $50,000 a month working with just three partners, right? Now, I have 5 different businesses, so don't look at my income and say $20,000 a month. What's that? Right? This is just from 3 people that I work with, and I've leveraged my time as well. So what is the key to this growth loop model? How does it work? And why am I reframing everything I teach in my group coaching program to be completely based on this model? It's all about value. If you can provide a valuable transformation to your clients, who you will soon be calling partners, more on that in a second, then you will get even more value in return. And I'm specifically talking about a financial value and return on investment. So if you can deliver an ROI on your services or expertise to your now clients, future partners, then this growth loop model is something you should absolutely 100% consider. Now, who this is not for, if you are a fitness coach, or you're more like mind, body, spiritual based, Not the best model for you because you really need your people to be getting a financial ROI, not an emotional or spiritual change, right? So if you can deliver an ROI, then this is a good thing to explore. Here's how it works in terms of using this growth loop model in terms of like a coaching or consulting business. It's super simple. When you find someone who is in your ICP, they are an ideal client that you know can benefit from your expertise, be it in a group coaching format or consulting. You want to get a cut of their success as a result from working together. Now, the challenge is people, like I've said, are so skeptical these days that it's hard to close consulting or coaching or group coaching deals, even with ideal clients that you know you can help, because they are being inundated with millions of offers. So why should they choose you? Why should they trust you or work with you, right? Why are they going to give up half an hour or an hour of their time to get on a call with you when they know they're getting sold and they don't believe you in the first place, right? It is getting harder and harder to sell. Especially when you're in the high ticket space, right? It's something that someone's really got to trust you to be able to put down $2, $3, $5, $10, $25,000 to work with you. So why does this work? It's because you need to be willing to put your money where your mouth is, or really your time and energy where your mouth is. You need to be so confident that you're helping their business or their financial situation improve, that you're going to be willing to do it for free and just take a cut of their sales or profits. Now, we can get into the nitty-gritty of how specific offers work and how it would work in your business, but the idea is really you're working for free, you're investing your time, energy, and expertise into them and their success, their business or personal financial success, and you are reaping the rewards on the back end, right? Out of a commission cut. Now, of course, you cannot take on all the risk up front. Your time is super valuable. So what you need to do is you need to get something up front so that A, you are covered at least minimally for your investment of time. Now, I'm not talking charging $1,000 an hour necessarily up front. We'll get to that later. But B, you need to charge something up front so that also they are committed too. Because if you just say, hey, I'm going to come in and, like me, I'm going to come in and build your whole group coaching program for you for free, and I'll just take a cut when you start making money. Well, what if they don't hold up their end of the bargain, right? What if they don't deliver on the actual coaching or whatever they're trying to be, they're fulfilling on, right? So you need to have some protection and make sure that they're committed. So that's where this upfront fee comes from, but it's not positioned as a fee because it's not a fee, right? It is a partnership and they have to live up to their end of the deal and execute and deliver. But instead of charging a fee, which is a hard sell, it puts up barriers immediately. It makes people super skeptical. Also, when you do close someone on a fee basis, they are immediately put on like a defensive, right? They're like, all right, I just paid you. Now you have to deliver. Like, go out, do the work. You said you were going to do it, and I'm expecting results tomorrow, right? I don't like working like that. I know for the right person I can get results, but that's not the relationship that I want to have with people. So this is how you're going to position it. I don't get paid unless you get paid. I'm going to partner with you, and I'm going to invest my time and expertise into helping you XYZ. In my case, it's like build your group coaching program. And I'm just going to take 30% of your sales, right? We'll even call it 30% of your sales after ad spend. So really 30% of your profits. So that's really low risk for them, right? Okay, you're going to build all this stuff for me. You're going to do this thing that I don't want to be doing. Or in the coaching sense, you're going to coach me on how to do this thing that I don't know how to do. And you're going to do it for free. And really, you only get paid if it actually works. Wow, you must really believe in yourself and think that this is going to work to be willing to make that investment in me, right? That's sort of the psychology that's going on behind all of this. All right, so moving on with how the pitch goes, I'm going to take 30% of your sales, but I need to make sure that you're committed and you have some skin in the game too. I can't invest my time and then have you, ghost me or not deliver or decide that you don't want to go through with this after I've done X, Y, and Z for you. So what I do is I ask for an upfront advance on the commission, right? If I'm making 30% commission, then I'm essentially asking for a prepayment of X amount on that commission that you would owe me. Right? This isn't a fee. It's a prepayment of commission. So the first X amount in commission is already paid. Say it's $5,000. The first $5,000 in commission is already paid. So at 30%, I don't even know what the math is, 15 grand ish, give or take. So the first 15 grand that you actually make, you don't owe me any commission on because you've prepaid that. And then after that point, the 30% kicks in for the duration of our partnership, which I'm hoping is going to be a really long time because I'm investing my time, energy, and expertise into working with you, right? This is an investment on my part. Now, this type of framing of an offer works on so many layers, and there's a reason why I call it the growth loop model, right? First, you infuse your expertise into their business for a fair price upfront, right? So let's say I was doing a group coaching offer. Instead of saying, I want $25,000 up front, which is a hefty price to pay for a group coaching program, right? But I've done it. I've paid it. Instead of saying that, maybe I say it's $2,500 up front. But I know I'm going to be able to make this person an extra $100,000 this year because of my expertise. So really, I'm going to make what's 30% of that. Let's say 30% of $100,000 would be $30,000 minus the $2,500 upfront is what? $2,750. I'm going to make $27,500 off of this person. So if I know the value of my client and my customer and the type of results that I can deliver and I'm confident in that, then I can say, all right, fine, just pay me the $2,500 up front and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z services or coach and consult you on how to build your program. Then it makes a lot of sense, right? It makes sense for them because it's really a relatively low upfront investment. You're not saying $25,000 or $27,500 when that's really what you know you're going to be getting, right? So it lowers the barrier to entry. And, you're building value for them by improving their business or their financial situation, whatever that is, however you deliver your fulfillment. You've been compensated for your time, so it doesn't feel like you're being hit and, working for free. And you're more motivated then to get them great results and deliver on your end because you get a nice cut of their success. So for me, honestly, I wish I didn't feel this way, but I view clients as obligations and partners as opportunities. When I take on a client, I do work on sort of client basis, retainer models or whatever in other businesses. The second I take on a client, I feel like it's an obligation. They've paid me a certain amount of money to do a certain scope of work. And if that takes me 2 hours versus 100 hours, the more time it takes up, the less money I actually make. So it feels like an obligation. Whereas with a partnership, it might be the same amount of time, right? Maybe it's 2 hours or 100 hours, but it feels internally like an investment. The time I'm putting in is building a business that I'm going to reap the rewards of. This whole mentality is why ultimately I became my own boss. It's why I stopped working for employers, right? Because I want to feel like and know that my expertise and value that I'm delivering someone else's company is coming back to me in some way. right? Maybe that sounds greedy. That's how I feel. And I'll tell you a quick story about how I first came up with this model and why I first came up with this model. So let me see. She's actually down here. This is Ella, if you're watching the video version of this podcast. Now, Ella is the founder of the Independent Film School. And when we met, she had 4 different courses. She was launching one quarterly. And she was making around $15,000 to $20,000 a launch. She had her list. She was doing, like, that's great, right? She launches a course, makes $20,000 without spending a lot in ads. Now, she hired me back in the day, this was years ago at this point, to do some consulting. And I did about probably 2 to 3 hours of consulting with her on her marketing funnels and strategies for her courses. And with that expertise, she was able to take her next launch to $64,000. And then the next one to 60, which was a less popular course, and then 89, and then 100,000, and now she's doing consistently 6 figures every single time she launches. I got paid probably less than $1,000 for the expertise that I infused into her business, for the value that I delivered, right? And she was able to take that. I mean, good for her. She's amazing. I just love this woman also. She was able to take that and make so much more money off of it, right? And I said at the time, I was like, dang, I did that wrong, right? Like, I should have in all of my consulting or coaching or agency services, I should have a way to make sure that I get a percentage of the value that I'm delivering, right? So that is where this whole growth loop system and model came from. Now, let me back up here a second. So this whole system is great because you're motivated to get results, which is important, right? I've been a part of a lot of group coaching programs where you sign up, they say they're going to help you get results, but ultimately they got your money and like, they don't really care if you succeed or not, right? They want you to, they want to get a testimonial out of you, but really it's up to you to like figure it out and get the results. I don't like working like that. That doesn't make me feel good. Certainly when I'm on the other end, it doesn't make you feel good, right? So I'm all about making sure that I as the coach or you as the coach can deliver as much value as possible, which then benefits the client, the partner, because they're getting a ton of value. They're making more money, but then that benefits you again, right? So it becomes this loop. It's a self-perpetuating loop of growth. You provide value and then you get value in return. Now, I've been using this business model for a few years, both in group coaching contexts and in equity deals that I do with partners. And like I said earlier, some months I've been able to take home as much as $27,000 from one partner. And that is someone who, if I did this is more of a done for you service that I do with him, partnership. If I was doing it as an agency, which is essentially what it is, then I would probably be charging $5,000 to $7,500 a month, right? Probably $7,500 a month for the level of service that I provide. And I'm making $27,000 a month. And he loves it because he knows that I'm invested. He trusts that I'm doing every single thing I can to make this business soar. And I am. Like, if we're having an off month, I will literally be working until midnight, making sure that we get out of whatever hole we're in, that we're optimizing, that we're scaling, that whatever, right? And I come in and I consult in other ways. So I'm not saying necessarily this business model is easy. I'm not saying it's completely passive, right? But I am saying there's massive potential and just the psychology behind it. For me, feeling like I am building businesses. I own 4 businesses, but I have so many additional partners where really those are also businesses, right? It's just that I'm in a partnership and I'm fulfilling one part of it. So it's a lot easier to scale that way. So anyway, I come in and I partner with them. You know, in my instance, I'm building their marketing and sales systems. I'm working on their offers, their working on their program fulfillment, all of that. They're actually doing the fulfillment, right? They're the expert in their industry. And I get a cut of their sales. Now, like I said, this is super motivating and it's also fulfilling, right? It's fulfilling to see their growth, to see their family succeed from this. And obviously, it's amazing to get the commission checks. So again, if you're watching this on video, I'm showing a screenshot here from one of my partners. He's a restaurant coach. This was from Slack. We officially hit another 6-figure month in this little business thanks to everyone for all their hard work. And then there's another sales, we call it ringing the bell. So-and-so has joined the program, $4,500, shut the front door. Oh my God, right? It is just so fulfilling to get these Slacks every day, right? And I know, whereas with a client, I'd be like, good job. I'm really happy that you are getting sales and that it's working for you. But ultimately, I don't care as much as if I'm getting 40% of that $4,500. Like, let's ring that bell. Let's ring the bell all day long, right? Those are my favorite Slack messages. Every time I get like a Slack ding, I'm like, oh, I hope it's the bell. Now, this program for specifically, he has been crushing it. And he's been doing over $100,000. He did over $100,000 in January and February and still seeing like amazing results throughout the rest of this year. Now, I have another partner who coaches software sales reps. And actually this month, right now it's May 2024, this month has been his best month ever with over $60,000 in cash collected from his group coaching program, again, which I get a nice chunk of. And this guy, Justin, has been in business for less than a year. So here's, for anyone watching on video, here's a Slack message, 4th person locked in their ticket for a high ticket mastermind we're doing. Also just going through all of the milestones that we hit, which again, would feel great as a client, but knowing that I get a nice big chunk of it feels even better, right? And I feel valued and I feel valuable, right? He's saying we officially hit our record, $66,900 in cash collected, broke $100K in revenue booked for the month, broke $500K in revenue for the year. The sky's the limit, blah, 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 right? If you're watching, you can see these numbers. Net volume of sales, $428K, one revenue over $500,000. Like, it's just amazing. And something that I have to point out here with what I was just talking about is that both of these partners use completely different funnels to acquire customers. So these are both guys who have group coaching programs. So if you are in the high ticket space and you have a group coaching program, or you want to get into the high ticket space, I just want to have a word of caution for you. Because I see a lot of people out there, gurus, trying to claim that their course or their program or their method is the only way to go, right? It's the only strategy that's working right now. The only thing. VSLs are dead. DMs are dead. Whatever, right? It's just not true. Now, and even like me, I'm saying do the growth loop system. Like, great. I'm telling you that's one thing that's working in tandem with many others, right? And it's worked in not specific circumstances, but it's worked in a very specific way, mostly in terms of the offer, right? So anyway, just want you to be wary. These guys both have 2 very different funnels. The first one is just pretty much 100% driving to a VSL funnel, and that's converting great. The other one does almost exclusively DM ads and outbound Instagram messaging, right? So totally different funnels. I have bought the courses, done the programs, whatever, learning all these different specific strategies and methods. But I really believe if you're out there trying to grow a group coaching program, there's not just one way, right? Also, your audience specifically might respond to one thing better than another. Some audiences and offers do really well with webinars. Some don't. Like my restaurant client, webinars don't work at all. Can't get people to sign up, definitely can't get people to show up, and really can't get people to buy from them, right? We scrapped webinars, but the VSL is working really well. We have an ebook funnel, a free plus shipping book funnel that's like crushing it, right? That doesn't work for my offer, for example, right? Like I have a free plus shipping into a Tripwire, didn't work at all, right? It depends on the audience. Every audience has a different level of exposure to different types of funnels. They have different levels of skepticism, of purchase intent, budgets, tolerance for friction in funnels, right? So there's a real art and science behind creating a high converting marketing funnel, offer, dialing in the messaging, the mode of communication, the level of friction between an opt-in and the number of questions on an application form, right? It is unbelievable how tiny changes and nuances in these systems can make such a big impact on success. And this growth loop model that I've been talking about is just one, right? It's one thing that has really significantly moved the needle for me. And that, coupled with my methods for fulfillment, and really just the way I've structured my business overall, has really, really worked well for me. So, already went over Ella. There's really, just for your reference, there's two ways that I work with people right now. One is through my Expert Incubator group coaching program. This is a done with you group coaching model where I help my partners build out their own courses, signature programs, high ticket group programs, and masterminds. Now, you don't have to in this program. You don't have to do my growth loop system. You don't have to have an offer with equity in it. It's something that I encourage in the right circumstances. So, of course, with this program, I structure it as my Expert Incubator program. I structure it as a coaching for equity, right? So there is an upfront advance on commission and then a very relatively low commission for the program because it's done with you and not for you, right? I'm not going to take 40% of your business if you're doing all the work. I'll take 10 or 15 for my level of expertise, right? Now, the other way is I work with a handful of partners on what I call an equity partnership model. This is where I come in and I will typically build your course with you, build your signature program, figure out the benefits of your group coaching program offer, the mechanisms for fulfillment, for delivering the value, the onboarding, the pricing structure, the offers, all of that. Plus I do all of the marketing and consult with on sales and operations, like you name it, right? It's really, I'm a real partner in your business. So these are really the two ways that I work with coaches, consultants, and course creators right now. If you're interested in working with me in one of those two ways, hit me up on social. DM me at Monica Hammond Official or shoot me an email, right? Monica@bigleapbrands.com. I'm happy to talk with you. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm sure we'll have a link in the description below where you can set up a time to chat with me or a member of my team about the possibility of working together. Okay, that was a mouthful. That is it for this episode of the Expert Empire podcast. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you give it a try, right? I really do believe in this model. I believe in a transfer of value and everyone benefiting. So until next time, I'll see you soon.